Hi, my name's Kerri Hollingsworth and I'm an upholstery artist. I started Antiquate 8 years ago as a standard furniture upholstery service, but it was really 4 years ago when the upholstery art concept came to life and my art practice really took shape. Combining my love and appreciation for furniture upholstery with the fibre art was really me stepping into a whole new world. I now not only use my textile offcuts, but other gorgeous fibres, along with, dried nature occasionally and other bits and pieces that I find to quite intuitively create pieces that tell a story. My art has, of course, developed quite a lot over the last few years, and I'm continuously delighted with the amount of energy that I can feel from the fibres themselves whilst weaving them together into the furniture pieces. It really is just such an amazing transformation to witness. I think my furniture stands out because it's different for one, but I'd really like to hope that it stands out because people can feel something from them. Whether they are consciously aware of it or not, I just really hope that the actual presence of the piece is felt on an energetic level, not just aesthetics type of thing. I really find it fascinating the clients that I have with the chairs that I have and how they marry up so beautifully together. And it's like I'm creating a character just for them, for their home, and something that they didn't even know was missing. And it's a really beautiful journey going through that with the client and seeing what comes out at the other end, because it's just as much a surprise for me as it is for them.
Hi, my name is Zetta Kanta. I'm a large-scale tapestry artist. I work with natural materials like wool, silk, alpaca, cotton and flax. This year, and I would say even 5 or 10 up-and-coming years, will be taking more and more inspiration from nature. This might sound a little bit cliche, but I would say it is a wisdom that we finally have arrived to. Nothing in the nature is in one layer, everything is layered. Everywhere you look, you see softness, you see grass in front of bushes, next to the big trees and rocks all around. And the same principle I start seeing being employed in interior design and architecture. Layering our spaces with natural materials that have movement and flow, subtle textures that add character to spaces is on a rise. It is important now more than ever because we experience our living environment by touch. Subconsciously, we start surrounding ourselves with tactile pieces that calm and ground us and connect us to nature. Also, concepts like wabi-sabi and Japandi movements, which are a mix of Scandinavian and Japanese Zen influences. They are more forgiving. They allow us to embrace everydayness with all its imperfections. When I make my tapestries and objects, I view them as being a part of environment that will comfort and nurture you. They are full of flaws, imperfections. They have no judgment. I see them like a big loving hug to the space you want to be in.
The idea around this collaboration captured project was initially to illustrate the power of imagination and to really share that creative process. It felt really important to invite people into this space to learn and experiment and grow with us whilst we were navigating a type of project that we hadn't actually done before.
The design concept of the chairs really started with the fluffy Romney fibres. I have previously worked with them, and we also have previously worked on a smaller project together on ottomans, foam, fibre and future. And after that successful project, we decided to let's make another one
On a bigger scale.
On a bigger scale. So this is it.
That's where it started, didn't it? It all started from the Romney fleece, and then from there we decided that it would be 2 chairs, and we wanted one. The Romney fleece is just so soft and luscious, and it was like we wanted to complement it with something that was full of texture, and it's really hard to find the right words to describe it, but just something full of texture and fun for them to marry in together but also play off each other really harmoniously.
Yes, they're almost like have a juxtaposition. One is soft, the other one is, would you say rough?
Rough, yeah, it can be rough.
The one is rougher because of the knots and the nature of the rope itself.
Yeah.
In the middle of our journey, I sort of threw in a curveball. I said, what about dyeing, eco-dyeing all of the fibres? And we both jumped into this unknown with a very
very open mindset, I feel
Yes.
like, because it was something that could go one of 2 ways. We knew what we had with our art and with the way that we work. We knew that we had something beautiful to display, but adding in that other element of naturally dyeing, it was almost as if there was this chance of it going pear-shaped, but also this chance of it just working so beautifully, and we're so lucky it did.
Yes. Neither of us have really eco-dyed anything on this bigger scale.
I hadn't done any at all.
I have done a little bit of eco-dyeing, and that process was very fascinating and involved, and I learned so much. And this journey taught us even more how to let go
of control.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. And it was so beneficial, and even just what the fibres ended up being, you can't even go into a shop and pick out the type of fibres that we ended up with, because it was just by chance that we ended up with those colours. It was by chance the leaves that Zetta gathered, the bark that we put in, the amount of it, the heat, all these things which we were learning on the fly because we didn't have a lot of experience with the natural dyeing. It's such a magical feeling that it all sort of happened by chance.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it works together in the end, and each of the fibres that Kerri did the weaving of dyed differently, but they complement each other. Yeah. So they are part of one story. They are not exactly the same tone. So you will see dark slate greys, but also beautiful patina greens with the grey overlay. It's very fascinating and very rewarding in the end.
Absolutely.
The most challenging part for both of us, and also for me, was the scale of eco-dyeing. It wasn't a small pot on a stove. It was a big canister. Would you call that a canister, or a big
cauldron?
Big cauldron full with water, and just understanding how much vegetable matter we first need to boil to get the tannin out of it, and then for how long,
how much heat you need, how much, there was so many variations that we needed to take into consideration. For me, I think the hardest part, because I did a lot of the fibre art as just natural fibres, and then we dyed the whole lot. We also dyed some extra fibre, and the scariest thing for me was I fell in love with using that banana silk. It was just so beautiful, and it's got such a glow and a radiance to it. And once I'd used all that, and then thought, this is going in a big dye pot, and I've got no idea if it would completely dull or it would change altogether because I really fell in love with using that one
Yes.
particular fibre. And as it turned out, it was just as gorgeous and radiant. It just had that beautiful deep grey through it, but it still had that sheen. And it was, again, another reminder to just let go and to let go of control and just to see what happens, because I was really pleasantly surprised. I probably like the grey more so now,
Yes.
because it's got such a story attached to it.
And we are already talking about the future projects of eco-dyeing.
Yeah, absolutely.
We had one very interesting and funny surprise in the middle of eco-dyeing process. Suddenly a green monster appeared out of the big pot. That was before we introduced iron into our dye pot. Every fibre was coloured green.
Like bright green.
Bright green. It shocked us. We didn't expect that at all. Later I realized it's because of the bark we collected.
And we had just put more bark in the dye
Yes.
pot, thinking that would deepen the colour, but it was just this fluorescent green, and it was
Yes.
really, really interesting. I think when that happened, that definitely wasn't a part of the plan, but it was yet again another reminder to really just stop, step back, relinquish control, and just see how things are going to evolve. We obviously had to think on the fly and go, okay, well, what are we going to do to change this? And that's when you decided to add in the iron, to introduce the greys, which I'm so glad you did, and it's just so gorgeous. But it's not like the green monster appeared and then we threw our hands in the air and went, oh, well, it didn't work. You know, we'll try again another day. It's like, okay, well, this is obviously part of the journey. There's more to this. We just need to keep following this path and see what happens. It feels really surreal to be in this moment in time where the chairs are actually finished now and starting the next step in their journey. And I can't help but think back to when we started this conversation and how long it's been in the works. Yeah, it's probably been a year. Where the ideas started developing and we started putting things in motion, but it's been just such a wonderful experience. And we really want to say thank you to those that have been on the journey with us and watched it all take place bit by bit, and to those that, you know, stumble across it at a later date and find out what we were doing, and it's been fun.
It's been very wonderful to feel all your support and love through all of this. We had some amazing friends and followers who were like encouraging us, yes, go for it.
Put it in the dye pot.
Put it in the dye pot. And thank you for that, because we really appreciate your support, and it really did help us. I feel like Romney and Quinn will resonate with a person who has a deep connection with nature, enjoys the slow living, enjoys the natural living as well, enjoys texture, and enjoys experiencing environment by just adding texture to their life.
Yeah, I really feel like they're going to be in a space where they're really felt as like they've got such a deep presence to them that they're not just another thing to go in the room. Like they create the room, you know. We just feel really grateful for where we are, where our journey has been, what we now have, these two gorgeous chairs that have got so much love and soul in them. And, you know, we put so much love into them, and I can tell that they're going to fill someone's home with so much love. And it's a really humbling experience. And that, you know, is going to be, you know, a little slice of happiness for other people as well, whether you're just experiencing it at, you know, online and watching the videos that we've done, or interacting with the chairs, or even having the chairs in your home. You know, it's a really beautiful idea that what we've been able to create keeps on giving.
Keeps on giving, yes.
Yeah. So thank you.